Hi there, this is Nicole Watkins with Morgan James Publishing, and I have the pleasure of speaking with author Blake Fite, who is the author of Echoes of Newtown. Blake, thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm so excited to talk about your newest release and just dive into a little bit of the background.
Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. And just to start off, I'd love to ask if you could talk just about the journey you have been on to write Echoes of Newtown. I think it's a really interesting backstory that you have.
Great, thank you. Yeah, it's been a real journey. 2007, I was inspired. My son was 2 at the time, and I was inspired to write sort of the original story arc of what was originally Adventures of Billy Washita, but we later changed it to Echoes of Newtown. But I wrote that story arc, and life gets busy raising kids, and during that time, and so I put the book down after I wrote the original story arc, and for 7 years, almost exactly, I worked for Change a Life Foundation, and I went over to Africa, several trips. Learned so much about the plight of the orphan, wrote their publication for them, raised money. They had an interesting model called Operation Orphan Rescue Program. And so I learned a lot about just the plight of the orphan. It was really inspiring, but I didn't think a whole lot about the book much once I wrote the story arc. I just wrote a lot of stories about fatherless kids and just really learned a lot about it. And so from 2007 to 2018, when I picked it back up, it really evolved. We changed the name to Echoes of Newtown. And then I really just felt inspired. I've been in 28 countries as of today.
Wow.
So we launched the Carriage Kids Writers Club, just to engage kids. Jordan Peterson wrote a book called The 12 Rules of Life, and he did some research and found that kids that self-authored really processed loss well. They were much more well maladjusted, and that was really the impetus behind the Writers Club. And then we also launched the Global Family Digest, which is an email publication coming out in the next few days, which is a little bit like a more modern Reader's Digest. I'm actually using some of the Morgan James authors. I shot it out there on the Facebook, and boy, they hit it fast. They really want to, be involved with that. So that's a little bit of the journey. And I continue to get great reviews so far. Literally thousands of people have looked at it, which I was really actually pleasantly surprised. So
That's wonderful, wonderful. And can you just highlight a little bit of the reason behind why you decided to write this book?
So the simple answer is that I'm called to the fatherless. In college, I got up after my first trip to Albania in 1991. Actually, I spent 2 months there right after communism fell, and that was very impactful. And I went downstairs, and from my dorm room, I was a chaplain in a private university, and I told one of my friends, and they said, "Well, you can't be called to the fatherless. Your parents have been married forever." And I said, "Well, okay then," because when you're young, you listen to your peers a lot. And you're like, okay, well, that was a silly idea. So I kind of put it down and then picked it back up later. But I've always been a part of the fatherless in my career, almost all of my career, in my writings and everything. And so that's been very important to me. In the middle of working for Change a Life Foundation, probably the last 3 years, working for them, I ran into an organization called Hearts of the Father Outreach. John and Libby Moritz. They're absolutely amazing people. When you meet somebody that's just brilliant, John and Libby are both brilliant, and they're these European, beautiful people. And I met him at the National Orphan Ministry Conference in Nashville. And he said, "Where's your orphanages at that you help with?" And I said, they're in Ghana and Zimbabwe. He says, well, my orphanages are in Ghana. Can you check up on them when you go there? So my next trip, I went there and I showed up with their national partner. Really neat fellow. He ended up visiting me back in the States. But on the front of their orphanage, it said Josh, Dan, and Chris. And I was very puzzled by that. I was like, who are those children? So I immediately got on my satellite phone and I called John. I said, who are those children? And he says, it's our children that died in a car accident in 1992, all at once. They were like 6, 8, and 10. And, very much young kids. Mm-hmm. And I said, John, why didn't you tell me? And he said, well, you really didn't ask. We didn't get to that. So I kind of felt bad about that. And in 1995, they started Hearts of the Father outreach, heartsofthefather.org, where today you can sponsor a child. They're a major sponsor for me, and you'll receive every book in the series. But just such a tremendous impact that had on me. And, I just learned so much. When you see people go through loss, when you're a little kid, I know my daughter lost her goldfish one time, and I think I actually killed it. Felt horrible. We had to have a funeral in the bathroom. It was this horrible thing. But on the other side of that is parents that lose their 3 children. Mm-hmm. And to watch them go through that and to learn that God has been with them. And it just really inspired me in a major way to write a book series that, number one, kids want to read, which I collaborated with a lot of people and made some changes. I involved 6 kids. Well, and I asked these kids, do you really want to read this? And so we changed some things, and they actually helped publish with me. Mm-hmm. And so that was the number one goal. If you can't get them to read it, you can't do anything with the book. So the number 2, the second thing is to help kids find truth. In the book, it's got an orphan creed, and it's 16 words, and it's the story of God. And so every book in the series, starting with Echoes of Newtown to the last book and everything in between, the second book is Finding Anastasia. And it's got 2 words or 3 words, and it tells the story of God in 16 words. But we're going to use numerology, illustrations, math, and whatever we can draw from to have clues for these kids to seek and find truth on their own, and not just do it because their legal guardian told them or their stepfather told them, so we, in this day and age, we need to help them be truth seekers. Mm-hmm. And the last thing is we want to engage people that are safe and that loves them, that are in a young adult's life, to help them process loss. So at the end of each chapter is discussion questions, and it looks a little bit education-like, and I know kids will look at it and go, oh goodness, I got to write a report on this. No, that's not the purpose. It's to actually engage adults that are safe so that they can process the book with them. And I've got several of my readers already that are reading to their foster kids.
Oh, that's cool.
So we've been my wife's a marriage and family counselor, so we've been very cognizant of that, and that being the 3 goals. And so, yeah.
Oh, that's so fantastic. I love the backstory and just your journey to bring all of this together. And, I'm really interested on how you plan to, just engage your readers beyond just reading the books in your series. And I think you've touched on some of that, but would love to just kind of hear a little bit more about some of your plans and insights there to just further engage readers beyond just the book series.
Oh, okay, thanks. Great question. In addition to heartsofthefather.org to sponsor a child, you can receive books in the series. You can go to globalfamilyresources.com, and you can sign up for the Writers Club. And you want to involve the legal guardian or the parents with that. But we'll have videos with tips on writing. We'll be interviewing actual characters in the book. Uh, Reverend Timothy, he calls the kids in the orphan gang young grasshoppers. So we'll be interviewing them and Reverend Timothy. If I can get him, he's got a publicist. He's a pretty important fella. He was one of my teachers in college, so he may tell me, "Hey, you owe me big time, buddy." But there'll be, things like that, and then of course the Orphan Creed. So kids will get clues. Like for instance, there is we're going to use numerology to create an actual orphan language. So the kids will use it to actually discover the clues. And then the last thing is the Global Family Digest. You sign up for that, and that'll be articles and stories related to the global family, which we love it because we get to engage other authors and people that like to write, and so that's neat.
That sounds, I love all the thought that has gone into just the creation and the message behind this book, and just all of these additional pieces that really bring even more value to the book and those in the series. So I know for those watching, I know you've mentioned a couple of places that they can go to get some of this information, but just to hone in on that, where is going to be the best place for those that are wanting to stay engaged and get some of these extra pieces that go into the series, and just stay in touch with you and what all you have going on, because I think you just, again, just everything that you've got in addition to the book, I think they're really going to be interested in continuing to follow that journey. So where is going to be that best place for them to stay engaged with you?
Yeah, globalfamilyresources.com. And then it'll have other products and things that they can engage me and then thought leaders around the global family. That's definitely the best place, globalfamilyresources.com.
Wonderful, wonderful. And also, just to remind those watching today that Blake's book is available wherever books are sold. So, go through go to your favorite bookstore or your online retailer, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and you'll be able to pick up a copy of his book. Blake, thank you so much. It's always such a pleasure to get to speak with you. And again, I just really love the warm and loving message behind Echoes of Newtown, and just very excited to see where this journey is going to continue to take you.
Thank you so much, Nicole.